Welcome to Joke Story Trick Live with Michael Kent. I'm him. Let's go. It's Tuesday. You're here. I'm here. Larry Hankin's here. If he looks familiar, you recognize him from Friends, Seinfeld, Breaking Bad, Home Alone, Escape from Alcatraz. He's had a long, successful career. He will be here to tell us a story here in about 15 minutes or so. I hope everyone's having a great week. Things are exciting here. This is fun. I've got a new sponsor for the show, for this and for my podcast. The internet says it's true. And it's something actually some of you might get some use out of. I get asked, this is true, on a weekly basis, how I'm running my shows online between snazzy transitions, backgrounds, graphics, quality sound. Here's the problem. If I just told you what I'm using, it is not going to help much because there's a pretty substantial learning curve. That is where Virtual Presenter Course comes in. Step-by-step instructions that even non-tech savvy people understand. It'll help turn your presentations into a virtual broadcast studio. I want your online meetings to be awesome. So for watching this show, you get 20% off your order. Go to virtualpresentercourse.com/30. That's where you go. virtualpresentercourse.com/30. And that gets you 20% off. And you can learn how to do awesome presentations. Let's see who's here. Oh my gosh, we've got Christopher Morrow. Hey, Chris.
Chris.
And Cameron Zvara.
Here's where Cameron goes berserk.
And Taylor's here. What's up, Taylor? And that means
to the plate.
We've got Tony as well.
My name is Tony Montana.
And Rob's here.
Rob.
Cameron says, tell us how your audio works, Michael. That's what he says in the chat. And the reason he says that is because Cameron knows firsthand what a pain in the ass it was to learn how to have quality audio for this show. And instead of the 3 months that it took me to get it right, I wish I would have known about this back then, actually. Virtual Presenter Course, if you go there, you'll see. It has like lessons on exactly how to do all the stuff I'm doing. So, like I said, 20% off for you guys. I hope that some people take care of that and take advantage of it. So it's good to see all of you. Let's take a look at some stupid news. Apparently, people on TikTok are sitting on toilets backwards so they can eat while they poo. So, congratulations, Generation Z. You're beating COVID and you're all getting dysentery. Tussauds Waxworks in San Antonio was forced to remove a wax figure of Donald Trump because people kept punching it. The museum's plan is to switch it back to Ric Flair. Look at that. It's Ric Flair. Scientists are warning that due to increased environmental pollution, the average penis size is shrinking. Yeah, that's it, honey. It's the pollution. See, that's the whole time. It was just the pollution. The scientific paper was submitted to an editor last month who said, quote, "Great paper. Think she'll buy it?" A Kansas man was ordered to remove a giant Chiefs mural from the side of his home. It was claimed that the painting might offend certain sensitive types, said town mayor Dom Grady. And finally, the Snyder Cut of the Justice League was released this week, clocking in at an epic 4 hours long. But to be fair, if it only took 4 hours to get justice, you know it was probably a white guy. This has been your stupid news. I like the comments. Great. Josh says, woo. And Matt says, global warming. That's what it is. It's global warming, Matt. Where's the Matt sound?
Matt. Matt.
What's up, Keith Monroe? Good to see you here, man. Eric Dittelman says that. Wait, hold on, Eric.
My name is Eric.
It says that's my favorite joke this week. Me too. I really do appreciate that, and I really do appreciate all the help writing the jokes, too. If you are watching on YouTube tonight, please do me a favor. Click that subscribe button. Make sure also to click the little bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss a show. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitch, please do the same and follow. Click the follow thing. Every set of eyes helps, and I greatly appreciate it. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. It's time to teach you now how to magic.
Taste me how to
magic.
Taste me how to
magic.
Taste me how to
Magic.
You ain't messing with my
Magic.
It's time to teach you how to magic. This is something that little kids love. It's worth carrying a couple rubber bands on your wrists because kids love this. It's a fun thing to do. You need two bands that are different. So whether that's one's really thick and one's really thin, or one's one color and one's another color. In this case, I've got both of those things. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this. I've got a blue thin rubber band, a pink thick rubber band, and I'm going to make it so that the blue rubber band is on my thumb. The pink rubber band hangs down like this. And then what you do is you say, which one of these rubber bands is on my thumb? And then they say blue. And you say, yes, this is the blue one. Which one of these? Oh, no, the pink one's on my thumb. Which one of these is on my thumb? And then they say pink. And you say, this is the blue one. This is the pink one. The blue one's the one. Remember, the blue one's the one that's on my thumb. And then you can just do this all day long. They say blue is on your thumb. And you say, no, the blue's here. The pink one's on my thumb. And then, it goes on and on. I'm going to teach you how to do this. It's a lot of fun. Here's what you do. Super easy. It's exactly what it looks like. You literally thread one on the other like this. So you pull one and you dangle the other over it, over both strands of it like this. You can't dangle it over one strand. That would mean that you've linked the rubber bands, which would be magic. Both sides of the rubber band, so it would fall off if you did that. So you do this, and then literally all you do is the one that you're pulling tight, it's on one thumb, you just fold it over and you put the other side on your thumb, like this. So it was like this, and you hold both of them with your finger. So again, you're pulling it tight like this, you fold it, and you put that, and you hold them both with your finger, and when you pull this tight, they kind of stay there. Okay, you pull that tight. So that's the one that's on your thumb. This is so simple. Here's all you do. You say, which one's on my thumb? They say blue, and you just grab the blue one anywhere. You grab it anywhere, and you pull it. And when you pull it, they switch places automatically. Try it. It's amazing. They switch places automatically. And then now you've got the pink one on your thumb. And you say, which one's on my thumb? And then they say pink. And you just grab the pink one and you pull it. And now the blue one's on your thumb. It happens automatically. It's really, really cool. And here's the coolest part. Watch this. You say, name one. And let's say they say blue. Snap your fingers. And they come undone. And I'm not going to teach you that part, but I have taught you how to magic.
Taste me how to
Magic.
Taste me how to
Magic.
Taste me how to
Magic.
You ain't messing with my
Magic.
All right. Christopher Morrow says, cool trick.
Ah, Chris.
I appreciate that. That is a trick that I learned a long time ago. And one thing you can do with that, instead of rubber bands, go to the hobby store and they make these things that are like fabric loops that people use for crafts. What happens is people, they braid them together and they make like rugs and stuff out of them. Get a bag of those fabric loops, and then every time you do it, just give them, show it to a little kid and give it to a little kid. Keep the bag in your car. And it's a great thing for when you meet people. Let's keep on going with the show. I am now going to share a joke. Two blind airline pilots, they enter an airplane. They're blind. They have the sunglasses and the white sticks and everything. As the plane starts to move, the passengers are uncomfortable. The plane gains speed, but it stays on the ground. The remaining runway starts to get smaller and smaller, and the plane is rushing toward a fence. The passengers start shrieking, and suddenly the plane lifts, avoiding the fence at the last second. All the passengers calm down, thinking that must have just been a bad joke. In the cabin, the co-pilot turns to the pilot and says, you know, someday they're going to scream too late and we're all going to die. That joke made me laugh when I read it. Hope that you enjoy it the same. It's time to choose a completely random joke from one of my old joke books. Let's use Christopher Morrow this time. I'm going to spin the wheel. There it goes. All of these are joke books that I own. They're old joke books. Some of them are outdated. Reader's Digest is this is the dumbest one on the list, and but I'm keeping it in there. All right, Chris. Let's. All right. The wheel is working nicely this week. Laughter, the best medicine, is 1, 2, 3 pages. So 1, 2, or 3. Totally, it's your call. Do us proud, Chris, says Taylor. Page 1, page 2, page 3. Laughter, the best medicine. Page 2, Christopher says. So let's turn to page 2 and see what we have here. Did you hear about the weekly poker game with Vasco da Gama, Christopher Columbus, Leif Erikson, and Francisco Pizarro? They can never seem to beat the Straits of Magellan. And that is the Wheel of Joke Books. I love it when we have puns. I like puns, and I had never heard that one. Matt says, pick the chicken. He's not in the wheel. The chicken doesn't tell any jokes. The only reason I keep the chicken in the cabinet, that chicken hasn't been touched since February 21st of 2020. And I keep it there to remember that that's a thing. And I do a trick with the egg instead. You got it. Yeah, with the egg. I do a thing with the egg. That is probably, Josh says, that is
You're joshing me.
Probably the best joke that the wheel has given us. And you would be absolutely right. I think that I agree. Let's keep on moving with the show. It's time for a story from our special guest. Tonight's guest is a character actor, performer, director, comedian, and producer. He's known for his major film roles as Charlie Butts in Escape from Alcatraz, Ace in Running Scared, Carl and Billy Madison. He's had roles as Doobie in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Sergeant Balzac in Home Alone, Mr. Heckles in Friends, and Joe in Breaking Bad. Everyone, please welcome Larry Hankin. Larry Hankin, welcome to the show. It's so great to have you on.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's very nice to be wanted.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you taking the time and doing the show. Now, where are you coming to us from?
I'm coming to you from Marina Del Rey, California. Marina Del Rey, California. Yeah, just Los Angeles.
Awesome.
Near the beach.
Oh, that's fantastic. I've been craving a beach. You know, I haven't left Columbus, Ohio in a year since the pandemic started.
Well, no, I haven't left my house in a year.
But you've got a beach nearby.
But at least I can see it if I angle out the window.
You've got the knowledge.
I can see it. So I know that I'm here.
Yeah.
And I go out every once in a while for supplies. It's like really weird. It's like I live in like Los Angeles, like Santa Monica, okay, but it's like Beverly Hills, the Yukon. In other words, I'm sequestered because of a snowstorm, like. And then I go outside and it's a beach and it's a sunny California, but it's toxic, so we got to go back inside.
Right.
You're trapped, but you're in a nice place. But
yeah, right.
Trapped.
So it's peace of mind because you know that you're in a nice place outside.
Yeah. It's just I can't go there.
Yeah.
Well, I can. It's getting looser now, but you get the gist.
Yeah, because I'm stuck in my house, but then I go outside and it's still Central Ohio out there.
Oh yeah, well, no, yeah, but how are you guys handling the COVID thing? I mean,
not too bad. Our governor has been pretty on top of it throughout, so
cool.
That's been great. And of course, he's gotten a lot of crap for doing so. Because my freedoms and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah, cursed if you do, cursed if you don't.
Yeah, but I think that we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I am actually booking in-person shows, which is scary. But great.
Well, let me ask you about that. are you doing it or are they calling you? In other words, are you making it happen or are they saying, hey, it's happening?
I've been very fortunate that I've spent long enough in the market performing that at this point they call me to ask me to go out. And so, but there's always marketing happening, there's always stuff going out, but I'm not cold calling and saying, hey, let me come play your stage, any of that stuff.
Do you have a stage?
Yeah. Do you have a stage and are people allowed near it?
Yeah, right. Exactly. There's a theater that I love right near here that I used to play in, just stand up, do, a little show every like 6 months, every 6 months, I would do a little show for a week.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe 100, less than 100 seats. And it was like very convenient and very great and very gracious and homey and great to work out stuff. But now it's gone. I mean, it's and that's so sad. And also Broadway,
Yeah.
So stage, I that's where I grew up, on a stage where I learned show business.
And there are still, still clubs. Clubs are still booking. Colleges are still booking.
But, okay.
Those little stages. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens now that people have picked up the virtual performance. How much of this virtual stuff stays after everything opens back up? That's what I'm really curious to see. Yeah,
that would be interesting. I know that I'm going to go to a lot of movies in theaters when it's okay.
Yeah. I can't wait.
I grew up that way. I bet it probably stays the same because the kids are used to this. So they don't know about what I know about, and who cares about what I know about anymore?
I'll tell you,
it might just carry through.
The movie theater that I went to all through college, and it's a huge multiplex movie theater. It actually shut down mid-pandemic. They said, we're closing our doors. We can't make money. And then like a week later, they said, just kidding. We're going to keep open. So now nobody knows what's happening with it. But it was a scary thing because it's like, that's where that's from the time I'm 18, 19 years old. That was the theater that we always went to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me too. And with the same thing with stage. I mean, I got into show business by getting on, open mic nights, coffee night, in coffee houses. And then on, little theater. And then it wasn't until later that I got into movies until I was, 19, 20, 21.
So in those years when you got into movies, was there one particular thing that was that breakthrough moment? Was there one thing that you can look back on and say, that's what really launched a long career of acting?
Well, yeah, actually, I never thought of it that way, but yeah, actually, it was when Carl Gottlieb, I went to Syracuse University, so it was right out of Syracuse University when I graduated. I graduated as an industrial designer. I had high marks. So I was going to go to General Motors to design the futuristic cars. For a lot of money, right out of college, because I was on the top of the list, and it was just like and Carl Gottlieb, who was my best friend in college, who was in the drama department. I was in the industrial design department, but we became best friends, and he wanted to be a writer and later wrote Jaws, all the Jaws movies he wrote,
Wow.
That was my roommate. And we didn't know that he was going to write that then. We were just friends. But he said, hey, Larry, where are you going? And I said, well, I'm going to Detroit, it looks like, because they offered me a lot of money, but I don't really want to do that. I mean, it was that my attitude was just down that low. And he goes, well, why don't you come to Greenwich Village with me? I'm going to be a writer. And the undertone, what I was getting was, why don't you come to Greenwich Village and starve with me? And I thought, that sounds much more adventurous and cooler than going to Detroit for a lot of money for to start. And I said, "You bet, let's go, man."
Wow!
And that was it. Boom. And when I got there, he immediately got a job because he was, Mr. Together. he got a job reviewing movies for these local little unknown newspapers all around New York City. Local. He was reviewing them, and he would go to these reviews and steal food for me. You know, they used to have the cold shrimp and the wine before you go in to watch the movie. Because they all, in those days, all the New York Times and the Post, and they all watched it with the little movie. Everybody watched it the same. So you were treated very graciously, even though you were from a little newspaper. So he got the cold shrimp, and they would have the linen napkins. And what he would do is he'd take the cold shrimp, handful of cold shrimp into the napkin, linen napkin, wrap it up, stick it in his suit pocket. You had to go in a suit in those days. And then, wait a minute, let me move this over this way. And in those days, you had to wear a suit, and he would bring it home to me, and that would be my dinner. And then after a while, after I think 2 or 3 months, because I was just swabbing duck boards in a bar from 2 a.m. to 6.
Wow.
That's what but I loved it. I never looked back or thought, wow, why did I do it? I just thought this was the greatest, man.
That's
This
crazy.
is out
So
of
it was
the
your
house,
choice.
no
Like
parents.
you
It
had
was
the opportunity
great.
to make money. You said,
Right. I had an
I'd
opportunity
rather
to
choose adventure.
starve. My roommate was stealing food from me. He
Wow.
finally said, no, I'm not going to steal anymore. This is it. This is the last one, Larry. And we had saved all the napkins. There were napkins all over the place because they were linen. And I go, why? And he said, because my suit is starting to smell like fish. And he had one suit. And it was true. And he stopped. So I really had to. So that's when
wow.
because I was starting work at 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. and I would be stealing food there was a bar and grill. I'd be stealing food
That's
from the
awesome.
kitchen.
So
Slabs of-
I brought you on to tell a story, and we have a thing here called bonus story, and I feel like that one totally counts as a bonus story.
Oh, cool. Do I
So,
win anything? Do I get a car?
Unfortunately, we gave away our last car last week
Man,
to our
if
guest
I
on the
was
show.
on national TV, I'd get a car.
Yeah, this is
What about a pencil?
This is an international broadcast. I'll tell you what we do have for you, Larry. We have a "Tell Me What to Google" sticker, and the reason that this sticker is interesting is because this is the name of my podcast before I changed it.
Google?
Tell Me What to Google used to be the name of my podcast.
So you're giving me a leftover.
No, it's a collector's item is exactly what it is. This is rare stuff. When the stack of 200 stickers I have are gone, there's no more ever again in the world. So
That's it.
oh man, I can't wait to hear a story. Tell me a story, Larry Hankin. I'm going to full screen you here.
Okay. I'm going to talk to me. So what happens if I just do that? Does it bother you?
No, I don't care. No, yeah.
Okay, Okay, so this is a story about the insanity and the mysteriousness and the craziness. I guess it's not insanity, it's the craziness that I grew up in when I was a kid. Okay, so this is I guess I was like 15 or 16. And what I was doing was I had a girlfriend. I met this girl, and she was really the most beautiful girl I've ever met at the age of 15, or maybe even younger, 14 or 15. Anyway, so that was like a senior in public school, I guess, yeah. But I didn't know where she lived, and she wouldn't tell me where she lived. Or it never came up, I don't know, but I didn't know where she lived, and maybe I didn't have enough ego or whatever, chutzpah. I asked her, where do you live? So we would just talk during class, and then one day, I did. And she said, oh, you know that building that's right after the L when you go up 25th Street? I go, yeah, it's right before you get to the high school. Yeah, that's where I live. That's not a place to live. What is that? Oh, it's an orphanage. She was an orphan. And she lived in this fenced off, big, huge orphanage. A building. A lot of windows and stuff. A lot of them some had bars on it. A lot didn't. Random. But there was a big fence around it, a big steel fence around it. And what I would do is I would go out every night. I lived on the second floor. We had a house, 2-story house next to a garage, 2-story house and a garage. And I could get out my window onto the eave of what was right outside my window, and Eve, that was at the bay window, and then I could jump onto the garage roof, and then I could jump down from there. It was only like 7 or 8, 9, 10 feet, whatever. I could jump. Okay, it was like 15, I guess. Let's say it's 15. And I was really young, and then I would walk or run or walk up 25th Street. This is like at maybe 2 in the morning. It was after my parents were asleep. Up about 10, 15 blocks to under the L, and then and she told me what window she was, what window it was. So I literally would take the pebble and I would throw it up at the window. Okay. Wow. And she would come and we would talk for about 2 hours about God knows what. 14-year-old, what do you got to talk about? I don't know. And then her sister would be a guard to see the nurse. And one night, this happened about over a month. One night, the sister came running in too late. The nurse came in. What are you doing? And she looked out the window. She saw me and she slammed. She says, go away. Boom. And she slammed it. And then when I saw her in class the next day, she says, don't let me talk to you anymore. You know, bad. So I said, okay, fine. So I go home the same night that it was shut down. Forlorn. And now I had a way, I couldn't climb up on the garage. There was no way, unless I got a ladder out, and then it would be too much noise. So what I would do before I leave, I would get down, I would go into the other side of the house. We had a cellar, and there was a cellar door that was about this big, you know, those ones that you look down, see this little cellar, you go down. Well, I would loosen the screen so that I could sneak back in through the cellar, down, come upstairs, go into my bedroom. So that was the plan. So one night, and right next to it was the side door to the kitchen. So I come around, I come real all forlorn, I come down and I look, and the doorknob on the side door is missing. Now that's really strange. No doorknob. That's weird. You know, I wonder if all the doorknobs are missing. So I don't sneak in, I run around to the front of the house, and sure enough, the front doorknob is missing. What the hell is going on? Now, this is like 4 o'clock in the morning. I got to get back into the house. Well, I knew how to get back in, but thank God I opened that thing. I would come back. I would have to bang on the door. They would know I snuck out. I'm in my clothes. So I snuck in. I go up and I sneak upstairs. Now, upstairs is my bedroom right at the top of the stairs, then my sister's room, then my parents' room at the end of the hall. And I look at my sister's room. The doors never closed. We never close our doors. You know, it was not that kind of room, I guess. Well, maybe I did. But I never noticed her door closed. She was younger than me, 5 years younger. So I don't know. But it was, not only was it closed, but there was no doorknob on it.
What?
Holy cow, the doorknob thief got into the house. What the f is going on, man? But wait a minute. There's my doorknob, and there's a doorknob to my parents' door, which was always closed. But that had a doorknob on it. What the hell is going on? And I couldn't wake up anybody for fear of being discovered in my clothes and what the hell's going on. And how do you know? So I went to sleep, and I couldn't wait to wake up to ask my sister. Because I couldn't get in. I didn't know if she was even alive or whatever. I didn't know she was in there. Couldn't get in. Wake up. I see her. I said, sis. Do you see that? Well, what happened to the doorknob? You know anything about the doorknobs? She says, yeah. She's like she's really angry about it. Yeah. So, what the hell is going on, man? Where'd the doorknobs go? That was Dad. What do you mean that was Dad? Why? What happened? I said, I'm dating Carlos, and Dad doesn't want me to see Carlos. And what he did was he saw that I wasn't in my room after 10 o'clock. And so he went and he took all the doorknobs off my door, the front door and the back door. So if I had to get back in the house, I would have to wake him up, and then he would know I'd been out with Carlos. And that's exactly what happened. I had to wake him up to get in the house. I said, oh, you should have snuck in. You know, my way. I told her that. But by then it was too late.
Yeah.
It was too late. But that's my story about the insanity
that's crazy.
That I grew up in.
Did you? And then you obviously taught her how to go see Carlos through the little thing in the cellar.
No, finally she just, just didn't care anymore.
Right.
You know, I don't care. I'm going to see Carlos. What she would do is she would sneak out and she would go to, and this is what I found out because she told me, no, my father told me. My father confessed to me. He said, your daughter saw Carlos last night. I said, well, no. How did you know? Well, what did you take the doorknobs off again? She says, no, I heard her sneaking out. She snuck out, and Carlos was waiting on the corner with his car, and I got out our car, and I followed them all the way. Where did you go? They went to his house. He said, his house? He's Catholic. His mother lives with him. They didn't do anything. They watch television when they go to his house. It's a Catholic house. There's crosses all over the place. What, are you kidding? He says, no, they were doing something. I said, Dad, man, come on. Oh, you followed them all the way to Carlos? Yeah, what a crazy house I had, man. Maybe that's the TV series, man.
Maybe. Yeah. Wow. Hankin House, they'll call it.
Yeah.
Well, you were talking about when you started your acting, when you sort of moved from comedy
from that moment on
into acting, and that's going to lead us into the next segment of the show, which is called What the Shit Is This?
Oh, okay.
So I like to surprise my guests, and for you, sir, I'm going to play this.
Oh, look at me. I'm with that girl.
Dan, would you believe it? We've got a sold-out house for this dog.
Really? Well, gee, it's awfully quiet for a full house.
Yes, the lull before the lull.
Now, come on, Gus. This is a fine play. Rotten, but fine.
What?
Well, I mean, it's rotten, but it's fine because at least it's an attempt at something different.
Yeah, mass theatrical suicide. A preponderance of artichokes. Right, stand by.
Do you recognize this?
He bought out the house.
Can you see the picture?
Are you some sort of
a
a
nut? Woody Allen's voice?
I just wanted a nice, intimate evening with a young lady.
Oh, well, then you wouldn't mind if we split.
No, not at all.
That's it, kids. Everybody go home.
Well, what is that from?
So, this is You're
the first person that's ever stumped me.
This is your very first television credit. When you look up your name on IMDb, this is that girl.
That girl.
And
wow. I remember doing that, but I don't remember anything about that
now, can
show.
you see the picture?
I guess I was so blown away.
I know you can hear it. Can you see the picture? From look at my screen for a minute.
I got to move it over.
There
there.
He bought out the house.
We'll play the clip again here.
Are you some sort of a nut friend?
No. I just wanted a nice, intimate evening with a young lady.
Oh, well, then you wouldn't mind if we split.
No, not at all.
That's it, kids. Everybody go home.
Wow. Who is that?
So that's, what year would you say around that is for that girl?
That's got to be 61, 60. No, wait a minute. I didn't go there until, 78, 78, 79. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know when my first, when I did that first thing, because I was going back and forth to the committee from San Francisco.
Wow. So there you go. That's your very first, probably very first national television appearance?
Probably the first ever
television appearance.
Yeah.
And that launched a long and very, very successful television career and film career. So what?
No, not yet.
So how many years after this did it take then?
Because I didn't have an agent for that. Because I got my agent, and the reason I know that is I got the only agent. Well, my first agent was for Laverne and Shirley. Laverne and Shirley made me official. And I remember even saying it so. I said, I'm now official. I've got an agent in Hollywood to be an actor. Wow. I got an acting agent. So that was a call from San Francisco, from LA to San Francisco. Larry, come down or audition, whatever. And it didn't mean much. It was after Laverne and Shirley that I became an actor in Hollywood where that's what I was going to do, and that's where it started. That was just a little one-off while I was in the show in San Francisco, which I was there for like 10 years.
Wow.
That was just a little, down and down.
So with all of your credits and all of the stuff that you've done, is there one thing that you would say that you're most proud of?
Wow. Wow. A little making me think here. Well, I guess the most that I'm most proud of, well, there's two, and they're very small little things. But the first one was well, the second one was in Barry, which I did recently. Escape from Alcatraz. It was the first one. Me being Charlie Butts. I to this day, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I got as relaxed in front of a camera as I was in front of the camera in Escape from Alcatraz. It's amazing to me how, I guess because of Clint Eastwood and Don Siegel, who, I was in awe of. Because I'd never been in a movie. That was a big-time movie. That was my first movie ever, a big-time movie. I've been in little movies in San Francisco. It's not the same as being in a Hollywood big-time movie. And so the only way I got to get over the awe was because I was afraid it would show on camera, and then you're dead, man. That's bad, or any kind of acting. So what I did was I demanded of myself that I hang out with Clint Eastwood. So I would follow him around and Don Siegel. I'd follow him around like a puppy. I would I just be there. I try not to be in his way. I try not to get in his way or disturb him in any way. I just want to be there as if I was a prisoner like Charlie Butts, and Clint was next door to me, which he was in my cell. Then I would hang around him for fear of being beat up. And so that was the connection that I was making. And Clint finally realized it. He understood what I was doing. He never mentioned it to me, never bothered me. He never said, get away, or why are you doing this, or anything like that. Just because it was the same thing when I got on camera as what I was doing when he was walking around. Because he would hang around with the extras. He would eat with the extras. He would hang around. He was really a man, a common man. He wanted to be a convict, a common man, a little bit smart, really smart. So I would hang around with him, and here's a little known fact that nobody knows about Clint Eastwood. A little trivia fact. He's a savant of Lear's limericks.
Really?
Savant, man. A real, only savant I've ever met.
Wow. That's amazing.
In other words, he knew, now maybe he doesn't do it anymore, but to entertain, because he would eat with the extras, it was 200, for 3 months. And he would eat with those. Sometimes he wouldn't. He would have a business meeting, but I mean, most of the time, he was a regular guy. They would try to, talk to him, and so he would entertain by doing these Lear's limericks. So the next time they would come, they would challenge him. Lear's limerick about blah, blah, blah. Well, what's the Lear's limerick that starts with blah, 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 blah? And he wouldn't even hesitate. He'd say, oh, that was blah, 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 blah. Oh, it just blew my mind.
It's amazing.
Man.
And it's so antithetical to most of the characters that he ever played.
Yeah, I mean, who would think that was...
It's pretty great. That's pretty great.
Yeah, it's so cool, man.
Well,
so that got me to relax, and and the other one was the Harry. I did a Russian Harry in Barry. In Barry.
Oh, in Barry.
I did a Russian hitman.
Oh, cool. I haven't gotten to see Barry yet. Everyone tells me I need to watch it.
You should, because it's really great, and I don't have time to watch it. But the reason I bring it up is because there's a little secret to it. Because why it's one of my favorites. It's the first role I ever did a backstory on. I'm not an actor. I'm a stand-up comedian. So I was really proud of myself that I did a backstory, plugged it into the character, did it like a real actor, and it did work. And I'll tell you why I know it worked. I got the role, and I was so serious about it because it was a serious role, and I really so loved. I so loved the star of the show,
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader. That thank you. Oh my, Bill Hader. That I really wanted to impress him. I really wanted to do good for. I wanted to do good for him.
Yeah.
I really said, "Geez, he's given me so much pleasure watching him work that I just want to do a good job." I've hardly ever had that kind of feeling, except when you're working with John Huston or Don Siegel or Clint Eastwood. You go, "I want to do my best work."
That's so great.
So I did, and I came in, and it worked. And I did it well, and he never spoke to me, though. That was the thing. Bill Hader was directing, and he was also acting, and he was also one of the writers, and he had this other writer friend, buddy, partner with him all the time while he was directing. But he never spoke to me, and I said, Jesus, I don't know whether I'm doing a good job or not. He's not giving me any hints. So I was really nervous the whole time, totally. And it was getting in the way, I thought, of what I had created with the backstory and what I had wanted to say with this character. Even had something to say. So when it was all over, he said, "Thank you very much." And I even went up on a couple of lines that he wanted to really capture. So he had me do it over and over again. So I thought, oh, I'm screwing up. Oh, wow, man. I'm blowing this whole plan that I had. And so at the end, he came up and he says, "Hey, thank you very much. Thought it was really great. Thank you very much." They all do that to all the actors. And I said to him, "Listen, can I ask you a question?" And he goes, "Well, sure, yeah, what?" And he's like a regular guy, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right, sure. He goes, I said, "Look, you never spoke to me the entire time that I was doing this part, man. And I had my heart and soul into it. And, I did a backstory and everything like that. And you wouldn't talk to me. What was going on? Why didn't you say something?" He says, "Well, me and my partner," he confessed to me. He said, "Me and my partner wrote this. Well, when we wrote this, we had something entirely different in mind. And we didn't know what the hell you were doing with what we wrote, but it was working out so well, we didn't want to come near you." So we didn't want to interrupt whatever the hell you had going for you, because it was working, and we just the hands off. I said, "Thank you very much, man. That's a great compliment. Thank you."
It is.
So that's one of the reasons. It's the first time I probably could be a good actor if I just paid attention, because I did the acting things you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you did the work, the backstory, and
yes.
Another bonus story. So good. Unfortunately, still out of cars. Maybe next time, Larry. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, man. It's a real honor.
Michael, thank you.
And stay in touch. Really enjoyed chatting with you tonight. Thanks.
Can I make an announcement? I have an announcement.
Please do. Yes.
I just found this out. About, it's one of the reasons I was a half hour late getting here.
No worries.
I just found out that I'm going to have my own, I don't know what you call it, channel. Have you ever heard of Patreon?
Yes.
Well, so I'm going to be featured. I'm going to have my own channel on Patreon.
Well, that's exciting. Do you know
what
it's gathering
all the stuff right now, and the advertising and the thing. It's going to be really terrific.
We'll make sure to let people know once you have the address of that. Let me know, and I'll let my people know. A lot of the folks that are watching us on Joke Story Trick Live are Patreon followers of mine.
Oh, cool.
And it's
about a month or so. It'll be about a month.
Yeah, it's a great community, and it's a really great way for people to engage with the content that you're making. I think you're going to love it.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Michael. It was fun to be here.
Hey, thanks, Larry. Have a great night.
Oh, okay. Here goes my trick.
Oh, wait. You got your trick? Here we go. You have the trick?
Thank you.
My gosh. You know what? You had 3 great stories at least. You had a trick, and you've made me laugh several times. I call that a joke story trick trifecta. that means is that you still don't win anything, but your name will live in perpetuity in the credits of this show. So, which is an honor for me to have. So, thank you again, Larry. I appreciate you being on the show.
I did it, Ma. Thank you,
right.
Michael. Bye.
Take care. Larry Hankin, so good. Man, we're so lucky. He really did earn the trifecta, Taylor. So lucky to have him on the show. Unbelievable. Go look up some of the stuff that he's putting out. Larry is just a thinker. And if you look at some of the stories, I posted one on my Facebook today, a fable that he wrote and performed. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, love the dude. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I just want to say a quick plug. This show, just like Larry was talking about, my show is kept alive from my Patreon sponsors. You can join Patreon if you haven't already. You can join for as little as $1 a month. For that, you get all kinds of exclusive content, including being able to watch me perform live magic shows. If you are a fan of mine and you want to show it, this is the best way. The link is in the show description. Just go to patreon.com/Michael Kent. And starting very soon, we're going to be doing bonus episodes of The Internet Says It's True. Sometimes I get ideas for episodes that I can't do on the podcast because it's family friendly. So some of the less family friendly episodes I'm going to be releasing as bonus episodes on Patreon only. And I'm writing them right now. And so those will be up very soon. Patreon.com/Michael Kent. It's time for the last part of our show, which is a trick. That is all for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks to our guest, Larry Hankin, for joining us. Tune in next week. Comedian, legend, comedy writer, Hollywood Squares. It's Bruce Valanche. He's on the show next week. I will see you all next Tuesday. Hey friends, over the years, I've had hundreds of unofficial supporters. Now, you can make it official. Join my Patreon, 4 different levels, tons of exclusive benefits, access, behind the scenes, backstage video, access to shows that you normally wouldn't get to see, producer support, credits, shout outs, VIP events, everything you can think of. And you can join for as little as $1 a month. So thank you in advance for your support. I love all of you.